I was actually on the line with a colleague the other day. We were having a conversation, and a text message came through on his phone, and it was allegedly from the IRS. And he said, I just got a text message that there was something that needed to be amended with my return. I said, absolutely not. That is not from the IRS. They will not be texting you regarding your tax return.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the malicious actors wanted him to press a button and then, or click a link to go and update something. And shortly after, maybe a week or two later, I got the same text message. So we see this type of stuff is playing out. Do you have any other stories of what's happening?
I do.
With the cyber brief?
So in Wyoming, we have a lot of cabins up in the mountains, and most of them don't have cell phone range. So you either have to, if you're going to be up there for a long period of time, you have to put in a landline. And this citizen was at his cabin up in the mountains, which is his second home. And he got a call from Publishers Clearinghouse. Now, you have to realize that this cabin is not in a populated area. You have to go on a dirt road to get to it, and it's in the middle of nowhere. So, because that's what cabins are, you know, in the mountains. And so the Publisher Clearinghouse says, you know, we have your cabin we have your address, and it was the cabin address, which, you know, the citizen thought was weird because that wasn't his primary home. And he had all sorts of information about him. And he said, you just won Publishers Clearinghouse at $650 million. You're going to get $5,000 a week for the rest of your life. And we have a flatbed truck with a brand new Chevy Silverado coming to you right now. Well, this citizen thought this was hilarious because he said there is no way a flatbed truck could ever get on those dirt roads. So he kept him stringing along. He knew right away it was fraud, and he kept stringing him along. He said he kept him on the phone for 30 minutes, got all of their fake names. I'm sure they were all fake. Got callback phone numbers, got everything, and then, of course, reported it to us. But he was so tickled with himself, and he did this because he'd read the hacker's brief before and knew that these types of calls come through.
I love it. I love it, making a huge impact, the hacker's brief is. And I love that you talked about earlier how if citizens can recognize the scam, they're less likely to fall prey to it. I always liken it to an illness. If you know the signs and the symptoms of the illness, you can diagnose it. If you have no idea what it is, you just might be walking around thinking you have, you know, a common cold when you've got something much worse. So it's the same in the cybersecurity realm. If people know what these scams are, then they know that, listen, these are malicious actors taking action against you, and you might not want to engage. So
absolutely.
We love it, Laura. So what we'd like to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we want to hear more about what you're doing at CyberWyoming and the CyberWyoming Alliance, and how citizens, everyday citizens, are helping to fight cybercrime in your region. And we'll also talk more about how these programs can be brought to our region. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.